Hello, everyone. So we are going to be starting our Create PT prep for AP Computer Science. So first of all, I would like you to go to Computer Science Create PT prep in Blend, and you're going to scroll down and you're going to see under assignment, it says template. Okay. In here is where you're going to submit to me for grading your written part of your PT and the video of your PT. But for now, what I'd like you to do is click on create and make your copy, because we're going to go through this template so you can start getting ideas of what you would like to create for your performance task. So this is where you are going to be doing the written response of your program. The written response is the most important part of this when you're developing it. Let's just go through it so you have a kind of an understanding of how you're going to find, decide what program you want to create and all that good stuff. So first of all, the first question is, you're going to talk about the program purpose, and you're going to talk about the function, what the program does, the overall functionality of it, and what little segment, because you do a screencastify of your program for a 30-second clip. So you're going to talk about that 30-second clip and what it does. And then the one thing you want to make sure that you don't forget is you want the input and the output that is demonstrated in your program. So just for example, if you're doing, the user has to input the number of miles that they just ran, and maybe for how long it took them, and then maybe they hit, that's the input, and then maybe they hit the button, and then the output would be the number of calories that they burned. So don't forget that for that part of it. Okay, so that's number one. So you'll use this and you'll type your answer in here. And then when we go to submit it to AP, we will just go and delete this part of the question, and we'll make this into a paragraph. And by the end of it, each one of your questions will be a paragraph, and you will have 6 paragraphs to submit to the College Board or to submit to me for grading. Okay, question number 2 is, your program has to include this answer you have to take 2 segments of your code from your program, copy and paste it into here, and one that shows how data has been stored in a list. So list is the key word. Your program has to have a list of some sort. So what I highly suggest is, if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure what list to do, go back to code.org, okay? And in code.org, go back to all of our list lessons, and take a look at all the different things that we created, and especially in the investigative one and the practice, it will help you to generate ideas of what you would possibly like to create, as well as refreshing your memory on what lists are. So I would scroll down here to lists, go to my unit. Yours looks a little different than mine, but same concept here. And I will go down to lists. Well, this is List Explore. So if I'm like, well, I kind of forget a little bit of this, you can go click on listen to these videos again, and it'll really help you with your terminology when you're answering these questions. In fact, these videos will probably pretty much answer your questions for you. Then when we go to some of these, you can take a look at some of the programs that we developed, and you can generate some ideas. And obviously my computer is moving pretty slow, but look here, this one is the outfit picker. Okay, this one is well, I'm going to move on. Oh, there we go. It's the band name, and you put in different words and see what it puts and generates out. I was thinking like you could put your last name in and click on it, and it would come up with wedding hashtags. I've seen baby name generators, like all kinds of things. So you can take some of these to help you, but you need to make sure that you're not stealing anything of anybody's ideas. You got to really change it into an idea of your own. Let me also go back here. But definitely going through code.org will help you to get your brain going and think of some things. Okay, so the next question. This is still in question number 2, you have to identify the name of the variable representing the list. Okay, so remember variables are, we name the variable and then we, to call and make the variable, then we have to call the variable to use it. So if we look in any of these, let's go down here and look at one of these. Let's look at the Remind app. Again, if I can get it to load. So if I look at any of the section code for the Remind app, we're looking at Andrew Nons here real quick. Oh my goodness. Guess not a good one to choose here. I can actually look at the example solution and show you here. Your variables will be in purple once they come up. So right here are all your variables, okay, that we're making and our list. So you've got to make sure that you name those variables. Variables are going to be very important, and using that terminology when you answer these questions, okay? Number 3 includes a program code segment that shows a list being used to manage complexity. Now, again, we go back to variables. Variables are used to manage complexity because we name it one time and then we call it to use it multiple times. So variables would be mentioned in this area, okay? Number 4 includes 2 program code segments. Again, you're going to copy and paste that in. And this time you're going to talk about procedures, okay, and how the procedure affects the functionality of the program. And that one should be pretty easy. And then 5, again, another code segment. And this time you're going to talk about algorithms and sequencing, okay? Again, if you can't remember these terminologies, you need to go back into code.org and start looking that up. This one says describes 2 calls to the selected procedure identified in the written response. So this goes back to 3C, and you're going to talk about those procedures that you use, and you're going to describe the conditions being tested by each. So remember, a condition is an if-then statement. So again, you're going to have to go back to those if-then statements and those if-else statements and say, if such and such, then such and such. So then you'll talk about, okay, what happens if the if statement is true? What happens if the if statement is false? Okay, so please just today begin thinking about what would you like your program to do? What would you like it to be? Okay, and then start thinking about those questions. When you are ready to start creating your program, you're going to go to code.org and you're going to go to the Create PT lesson, which is lesson 8. If it loads in a timely manner here, I'll show you. If it doesn't, then we'll just move on. But it's lesson 8, and then there is okay, lesson 8, and then you go to the very bottom here, and it says Create PT Coding Workspace, and that's where you are going to begin that. Okay, so begin that today, and tomorrow I will get back to you with more information. Okay, but just start that today. All right, and more information each day as we go.